So I want to try a couple of prompts. So I'm going to type in a really fast car with wings and hit enter. But I want to keep going and trying more things. I'm going to hit up on my keyboard and I'm going to change wings to rockets. Then I can just hit up again and do something completely different. As long as I hit up quickly, it will actually continue to put my previous prompt into that chat. But if I leave it for too long, it doesn't actually work. And that's my first tip in this video. I've got a whole bunch of Midjourney tips and tricks here to help you improve your artwork and your experience with Midjourney. And now my second tip, if you're using version 5, I click upscale on this image and it creates that one image. But version 5 actually doesn't upscale. It just delivers this image that's already there. So what you can do is hover over your prompt, add a reaction, add an envelope, and you can actually get all of the images in full scale here. The only negative part of that is that these upscales don't appear in your Midjourney community feed, but it is a great way to save time and just upscale them all at once so you can download them straight from Discord. While we're at it, maybe I would like to delete this image from my Discord. Well, all I need to do again is to add a reaction. I can search for an X, put this red X on there, and it will delete that from Discord. And surprisingly, it's also gone from my community feed. So it's pretty much deleted it altogether, which is a pretty cool tip. But what happens if I enter a prompt and I don't really want it anymore? If I click on more and go to apps, I can cancel the job. And therefore we'd have to waste time waiting for that to go through. So that's a good time saver if you accidentally enter the wrong prompt. Now I want to upload this image into Midjourney. I actually need to use a URL. So what I can do is upload from here and click send. I can click on this image, right click on open in browser, and then copy the link address. And when I create my prompt, I paste it in there to send. Sometimes that doesn't work. For some people, they get errors. So what we can do instead, we can go to postimage.cc and we can upload here, copy the direct link, and paste that link into Discord, you get the same effect. But don't forget about typing /blend, where you can upload and blend up to 5 images into one piece of AI art. A very powerful technique for playing with some of your previous art or even your generations to go further from there. The good news is you don't have to worry about any tricks to upload your art or going to another service. It all happens right within Discord. While we're on the topic of handy features, I really like this version 3 style of ink dripping drawing. But when I try to make it with version 5, I get something that is still very cool, but completely different. If I want to get this same result, but using the version 5 algorithm for better detail, I can go to /settings. I make sure I activate remix mode. It'll be lit up green. I then go up, find the one that I like. Number 3. I make variations and I remove version 3, make sure I have version 5 at the end, click submit. Then I get the style that I want, but using the version 5 algorithm to create better detail. And to switch between these different versions, just simply type in --V space and then 3 for version 3 or 2 for version 2, 5 for version 5, and you can switch between algorithms as you're prompting. Also, if this is a little bit too confusing or I'm moving too fast, check out this AI Art Beginners course. I have a video in the description below along with an affiliate link if you want to check it out. It's a pretty good course for slowing things down and exploring things in depth so you can pick them up over time as opposed to being rushed through like I do in a lot of my YouTube videos. And here is a cool style hack you can try. We can create abstract art using Midjourney that we can reference by right-clicking on open in browser and copying the link address and adding that abstract style image into our prompt. We can then add something to it like a happy dog, and we can combine that effect with our prompts without actually even typing in those words. So we can pick the effect that we like and apply it to what we're doing, like this happy dog, to get a pretty cool effect. Another thing we can do is paste that in there, hit space, you can find an existing prompt like this one here, copy that image address as well, and paste it, and just simply combine 2 existing AI art images as well. So we can create various elements individually and combine those to stylistically have a bit more control over the final image we're trying to create. If you really want to take control of your styles and learn how to create better images, obviously you can do things like referencing artists, or you can go to the community feed, check out what images are there, copy those prompts so you can sort of see what words people are using. Also, there's the Midjourney magazine that's coming out. You can probably grab that and that'll give you some information on ways you can improve your prompts. But on top of that, you can also use some prompt generators to not only generate cool prompts, but learn certain terms to get very cool effects. This particular prompt generator by prompt.noonshot is actually very powerful for learning different keywords and has a lot of different options. But to mix it up, there's also a random prompt generator that I've used in the past. You can basically just come up with styles and prompts at random to create some very interesting results. And also this cool PDF prompt generator, which you can actually purchase for $10, download, and you can sort of generate prompts from that too. It's very comprehensive for photo realism. It works well with version 5, but there are actually also a bunch of other options there for art styles and other layouts, so it's definitely worth checking out. If you're new to Midjourney and you're still having trouble keeping up with the noise, just remember you can actually go to the Midjourney bot, click the avatar on phone or the name on desktop, and you can add to server, or if you view their profile, you can send them a message and you have your own private place there to submit your prompts. Now, if you're still stuck in the newbie room for some reason that doesn't work, on computer, head up here to your inbox and go to your mentions. And there you will see what has been generated for you without having to scroll through the chat. If you're on phone, head to the hamburger menu top left, go to the bell icon, and you will see your notifications there also. I can also take my images into something such as Leonardo AI's AI Canvas. I can upload my image. I can then use my in-painting and out-painting features on Leonardo AI to edit the image further by removing certain elements and typing in a new prompt at the bottom. And when I'm done, I can go over here and download my artwork after it's been altered. Also, if I'm typing up a prompt and I decide I want to add in there vector art, flat colors, simple, I can create some images that'll be suitable to convert into vectors. So if I take one of these, I can head to Vectorizer.ai, drag in my image, and convert it into a vector SVG file. I do a full tutorial on this, including what you can do in Adobe Illustrator to convert files to vector, but this is a really handy tool that is currently free. I do recommend checking that out if you want to create some simple vector images. Also, if you have a picture and the face doesn't look quite right, head to Google, type in GFPGAN, and then scroll down. You'll see a few options. You can go to Hugging Face or Replicate. Click on one of these, drag your image in, choose a version, generally the newer the better. You can even upscale it slightly. We'll give it 4, hit submit, and after a little bit of time, it will fix up some of the issues with the face, making it look more like an actual human face. That is GFPGAN, and I can download this image and use it for whatever purpose I see fit. I also recommend learning Adobe Photoshop, learning how to cut out objects, blend them, change the lighting, so that you can actually use various pieces of AI art to create even more stunning imagery. Something that's really unique and you have a lot more control over when you use Photoshop. You can also combine with photographs or even your own art for maximum effect. Now, if you want to download in bulk, I recommend going to midjourney.com and logging into your account. You go up the top right here to this little arrow here on the home page, and you can select various items to download and click Open Downloader. Or if you scroll up, you can go to your archive, go to various days, select them as you wish, and you'll notice for some reason these days the downloader does not appear at the bottom of the page. Once I have these selected, I can go back to home, click on the downloader at the top, and you'll see here I've selected 100. I can now open the downloader and download all my images. If you really want to master Midjourney, it's good to have some kind of prompt structure of your own that you can follow. If you're using an image, you do need to start with the image URL. Otherwise, what I tend to do from there is I add a broad description of what I want to see, and then I add in any details, final little things I want to see as a part of that larger description, and then I'll dictate the style, whether it's a photograph by choosing certain camera sort of models or lenses, or if it's a painting style, add the painting style. If it's digital, maybe 3D rendering or something like that, and then I'll choose lighting. It might be dark lighting, might be cinematic lighting, might be bright lighting. And if there's particular colors I want to see, I'll then add those in there. So maybe I want this to be primarily cool tones or blues and greens. I can add those colors in there to try and dictate what I want in the image. And finally, what you have to do at the end of your prompt if you want to use them is add your parameters at the end. These are the codes where you type in things like --AR for aspect ratio and other codes like that. Now don't forget, if you're not happy with the results, keep on adjusting your prompts. For example, this one's a little too cartoony, so I'm going to add in a few extra bits and pieces. You can then create variations of each of these images. I recommend oftentimes re-rolling to see what you get. Another thing you can do when making these adjustments is to use word weights. So I've got a ghost here, I add 2 colons and I say 2. As a word weight, default is 1. And I want them to be melting, so again, I'm going to say 2. And I want there to be more blues than purples, so I add a 2. And volumetric lighting, you can add numbers from 1 to 5 or even 0.25 if you want to de-emphasize certain words. You can actually emphasize certain words with word weights by adding in these colons and the numbers after to take more control of your prompt from there. In contrast to that, don't be afraid to try very short, sort of abstract phrases to see what Midjourney comes up with, because sometimes you get some very unique images by giving it something different that is a lot less structured and letting Midjourney sort of do its own thing. And if you really want to maximize your artwork after you've created it, grab an AI upscaler. I highly recommend Topaz Gigapixel. It does some absolutely amazing work with AI art, creating massive high-resolution images perfect for print and other uses. And finally, learn as many of the codes/parameters as you can to maximize your prompts. There's a video on the screen right now you can check out to learn about those. So I highly recommend that if you want to take your Midjourney skills further. Otherwise, thanks for watching the video. Hope you had a great day. Hope to see you again soon.